And welcome back to the Press Star Podcast. This is episode number 59, and of course, I'm your host, Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin', and of course, I'm joined by my co host, Lunatic Oblivion.
Hey guys, how you doing today? It's a bright, sunny Sunday, isn't it?
I don't
And
know,
by
I
bright
didn't.
and sunny, I mean it's pouring like crazy outside all day. Not pouring, but summer's over, dude.
Yeah, more or less.
We're heading into fall, and it's game release season's on us now.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, I didn't go outside much first week of football started, so I was busy doing that all day. As you can see, I'm
No,
rocking my
makes sense.
gear.
So, what's new with you, Vic?
Not much, man. Just been playing through the Artful Escape. That game is fucking dope, and it sends you on like a trippy adventure, and I highly recommend this game. I think I played about 3-ish hours, and the game's only about four and a half hours long. So I'm probably my next playthrough I'll beat it. And I've been recording it and whatnot. And Shoot to Win is going to be posting the first playthrough tomorrow. So if anybody missed it, you could check it out this week. But other than that, man, I've been playing Battlefield, Warzone. Obviously, you hopped in there last week and we caught a dub. Our first time back together, caught a dub. Like,
I
come on.
literally just jump in and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing on this map, dude? It was so fucking hectic. I died like twice and then we caught a win and I was like, how did we do this?
Yeah, I mean that game I had 10 kills, but I redeployed 10 times. Like,
Yeah, hey man, all I'm saying is you get a kill. That's all that matters. Like me, I was over there just like, stay alive, please. Don't die on me, man.
right. So I mean that was a lot of fun, and just gears towards. Obviously, we got the Call of Duty Next event coming up this week, and with Modern Warfare 2 right around the corner and Warzone 2 right behind it. Just feels good to get back into Call of Duty here and there. Well, what about you, man? I know you had your stream today. How'd that go?
That went really well. I've been doing really well right now with the viewer stream Sundays. People seem to enjoy coming out, being able to engage in some games that maybe are a classic or something near and dear to their heart or something
Hmm.
maybe that I just haven't played and they want to have, more of a community to see it and play it. And like Metroid Prime is one of the smallest games on Twitch because it's so old. It's 2002, it's over 20 years old now
Right.
and it's got less than 100 people watching it at any given time and I'm pulling 10 of those people.
Right. When I hopped in there for a little bit, you were sitting about 9, so 11 kept fluctuating between those two. But you had some good engagement from people I've never even seen in any of our chats before. So that's really cool to see
Hmm.
the engagement from the community on that game. And it's pretty
No, it
cool.
was
Also,
wonderful.
that game is different too. I mean, that game was what from the GameCube, right?
Yes, GameCube
Yeah.
2002. It feels a little clunky at times. I was
Yeah. Looks
actually
like it.
just going over the game with my friend Flankman, who was in the chat with me. He, like Laser Lord, is a huge fan of the Metroid Prime series. He's played every game that was Metroid Prime, as well as all the offshoot games. He's played every Metroid game, I think, that's ever been released, even the ones that were marketed as Metroid games, but not really Metroid games.
Oh, jeez. But what else have
But,
you been playing
like,
though?
other than that, I actually picked up Disney Dreamlight to play it for a little bit to see what all the hype was about. And honestly, it's pretty good for, being a Disney game. I didn't expect it to turn out as well as it did.
Okay.
I've been playing Expeditions Rome, which is actually pretty good. Like it really blew the other expedition games that came before it out of the water, which
Okay.
is, a series of games that exist. I also picked up the 2K bundle that you posted this week from
Hmm.
Humble Bundle, so I'm thinking maybe I'll get back around to beating Borderlands 2 and 3. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, I almost done with the first Spider-Man game with all the DLC and about to hit Miles Morales, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's exciting for sure. That's still a game that's on my backlog. I'm excited to check it out. But other than the games we've been playing, what can people look forward to be playing this week?
Well, this week we've got a few different games coming out. Mostly the games have been getting next gen updates
Hmm.
or they're smaller sort of indie games. So we're going to start out here with Little Orpheus. Little Orpheus is a side-scrolling game about somebody about the size of maybe a Pikmin. No, a little bigger than a Pikmin, I'd say. Maybe the size of like a small kitten or a cat. It's a guy who's running around in the world in a side scroller. That comes out for PS5, Xbox X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. That'll be coming out on September 13th. Next up, we've got Scourgebringer. This is another smaller game. This is actually a mobile game, so we're gonna be getting the release to iOS and Android on September 13th.
Hmm.
It has already been on the PS4, the PlayStation, Vita, the Switch, the PC, and the Xbox One, as you can see on the screen here. And then after that, we've got 13 coming out. 13 is a Switch game. It's getting ported to the Switch. This
Hmm.
game originally came out in 2003 for PS2, Xbox, GameCube, PC, and Mac. And then it got re-released it got remastered on November 10th of 2020 for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So now it's actually getting re-released on the Switch on September 13th, 2022.
Man, that game's been through a journey.
It's a journey indeed. Next up, we've got You Suck at Parking. Not a slander, actually a game.
Right, and
You
actually,
Suck at Parking.
I heard big reviews, like good stuff behind this game. It's just like one of those like games you just turn your mind off and you just have a goofy ass time.
Yeah, it's a goofy racing game for up to 8 people simultaneously. It's on the PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. That comes out on the 14th of this month. And then in 2023, we will see the PS5, PS4, and Switch releases. So it actually is only going to be hitting Xbox X and S, One, and PC because it's an Xbox exclusive.
Hmm.
Next up, we've got ourselves Bear and Breakfast. This is a game that we talked about a while back in one of our podcasts.
Yeah, because it
It
came out on PC
came out on
first.
PC
Yeah.
on July 28th. It is now releasing for Switch on September 15th, which is just, it's sort of like a competitor, I guess, to Disney Dreamlight Adventure. Then we've got Metal Hellsinger, which is, I believe, is this the shooting rhythm game? We
Yeah.
have the metal shooting game. So the entire idea of the game is you get bonus damage and bonus points to be able to shoot and attack your guns and weapons with the beat of the song. Now, this is going to be releasing on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC only. So it is meant to be a next gen exclusive. We'll see how good this game is. This releases on September 15th, 2022, and it's actually rated T for teen and not M,
Hmm.
surprisingly, with it being as violent as it is.
Right, looks like a Doom kind of game.
It's Doom meets metal music rhythm game.
Yeah, it actually looks really good, and it's actually on Game Pass day one.
Day one Game Pass. Game Pass. The meme is not a meme.
It's the reality.
Next up, we've got Outer Wilds is getting its next gen update for PS5, Xbox X and S. This comes out on the 15th of September as well. And then, as we discussed last week, Splitgate is getting its final copy, its final release. That comes out of this week on September 15th as well. That'll be on all the Xbox and PlayStation consoles as well as the PC. We've got Wayward Strand, which was an indie developed game after that. That comes out on the PS5, XNS, 4, One, Switch, and the PC. You know, I just realized as I go down through the list, it's like counting down. That comes out September 15th. This is an indie developed game by Ghost Pattern. So this is a self-published and self-developed game. Uh, I believe we saw this during the Nintendo showcase
Probably,
earlier
yeah.
this year. And then lastly, we have the Return to Monkey Island, which a lot of people are very excited for. This comes out on the Switch and PC on September 17th.
Yeah, it looks good. Do any of these games really excite you at all?
Honestly, I think I'm gonna pick up Outer Wilds finally, and maybe I'll play it on PS5 because Jordan likes those story-driven games like
Hmm.
this, and I think this would be a good time to pick it up once it hits that next gen because we can play it together on the PS5 and sit on our couch and relax.
Right. Outer Wilds, I think, is currently actually on Game Pass. and
Hmm.
it's one of those like time looping games, like but it's like a world,
Yeah.
like you can travel in space with a spaceship and
Well,
stuff
the
like that.
world is ending. So
Yeah,
the plot is the world's ending, and every time you die or the world ends, you get closer to
yeah,
why the world is ending so that you can stop it.
yeah. It's been a game that's on my backlog, and it's a game that came out around the same time as Outer Worlds, and everyone was getting both of these games mixed up all the time.
Hmm.
But
I know I've done it more than once.
I definitely want to check out Metal Hellsinger. That's one of my games I want
Hmm.
to check out. It seems really cool to see like that rhythm-based game, especially coming off like the Artful Escape. It has like that music, that rhythm kind of game to it, and maybe not hellish escape or landscape like this. And but whatnot. But it's on Game Pass, so it gives me a chance to check it out. And if I don't like it, kind of move on. But You Suck at
Exactly.
Parking might be a game where I'm just like, yeah, just let me download it real quick. I'm sure it's only a couple gigs and check it out and goof off in that.
Yeah, see if it's even, it may be awesome, it may be garbage, who really knows. And I believe it's gonna be pretty good, I think. I
Hmm.
think it's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be one of those like sort of like gang beasts or it's gonna be that sort of mosh pit style gameplay that we have.
Right, and You Suck at Parking is also on Game Pass.
Yeah, so, day one.
It's
So
good.
Vic, what's the industry looking like this week?
Industry's kind of light, and of course we got our Activision Blizzard news. But I'm gonna start off with Xbox first. They did announce that they do have their ID at Xbox Showcase on the 14th, so it's this week, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And basically they're just gonna go over any new or upcoming Xbox Game Pass announcements. The show's roughly about 90 minutes long, like their normal shows are, and one comment someone made on Twitter that this coincidentally is the same day that Deathloop's PlayStation timed exclusivity period ends. So we could see the announcement that Deathloop is coming to Xbox and via Game
It may
Pass as
re
well. They
it
might
may have
drop it that
launched
same
that
day.
same day.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, if they say something like that, I'm like, yeah, I can see exactly what's happening here. What if they just drop it and they're like, yep, time's over. It's on Game Pass already.
right.
Have fun.
And I think that that'll be huge because obviously we know the success of Deathloop when it first came out on the PS5, and now it gives a chance for all those Xbox and PC players a chance to check this game out. And with Xbox's back half of the year kind of light, it gives them a big heavy hitter here. Obviously, PlayStation
Hmm.
already experienced it, but it still gives them another big game to play, especially leading up to the springtime because springtime is going to be packed with a lot of heavy hitters for Xbox. But moving on here to the Activision Blizzard news. Of course, we got it every week. PlayStation has basically called Xbox's Call of Duty offer inadequate, and basically Xbox offered to keep Call of Duty at least on PlayStation for like extend their current contract by like 3 more years or something like that, and they're just like, that's not enough. Basically, PlayStation is just crying wolf at this point. No, everyone's just like, PlayStation, are you kidding me that you're really crying about this as much as you are? Like, stop. Like they're going to the lows of the
Yeah.
lows.
What they're really just worried because I think once they lose that exclusivity to Call of Duty,
Hmm.
they're gonna lose a big player base, I think, with the PlayStation 5 because that's why a lot of people go to the PS5 is for that exclusivity. Oh, I get this shit early, I get to play more content,
Hmm.
you know. It it just feels better for those players. But now if I don't have to spend extra for a PS5, why would I?
And then
I can get it
and then
on PC.
right, and then not even have to buy the game because we know that these games are going to be on Game Pass. So I'm
Yeah.
getting a $60-$80 game for free.
Yeah. And like if PlayStation isn't getting that exclusivity of like those special items early,
Or
it
modes.
sucks
Yeah.
because yeah. So now you're gonna get it on Game Pass for free for the same thing that PlayStation's paying for.
Right, and honestly, it's the same kind of issue that they are dealing with MLB The Show. MLB The Show was a PlayStation exclusive. It comes to
Now it's
Xbox.
not.
It's on Game Pass. I don't even have
Hmm.
to. I don't have to pay a dime to play MLB The Show. But anybody on PlayStation who wants to play their OG exclusivity game
Like
has to
70
pay.
bucks.
Yeah, $70 to play MLB The Show.
Hmm.
For me, it's 15.89 a month, and I
And
get a
not
tons
and
more games.
spread that across every game you played that month too on all consoles.
Right.
And not to mention, if you played online, every minute you played online, take a little bit of money off your Game Pass because that's your Xbox Gold.
Right. So yeah, it's just crazy to see how it goes. But yeah, that's it for the industry news. It was a very light week in regards to that, but we did have a really big week in gaming. So Roger, tell us a little bit about what's going on in the gaming world.
Okay, so Overwatch 2 finally kind of announced where they're going with the agents and how they're going to move forward with the game being mostly free to play. So, you know, if you decide not to buy battle passes, the agents are going to be locked behind grinded tiers. So to get a new agent, you have to sit there and grind the agent out. The agent just doesn't come to you for free. But if you buy the battle pass, you'll be able to get free tiers into the battle pass so that you'll be able to get ahead of the game and get that champion almost instantaneously
Was
compared to somebody who's doing it for free.
Well, it's not necessarily locked like that. Like, there's a battle pass,
Yeah.
and then there's free tiers and
Mhm.
paid tiers in that battle pass. So you don't have to pay a dime, but
Yeah,
sprinkled throughout.
exactly.
It's just like Call of Duty. Like, there's free things sprinkled throughout the battle pass that you can get for free by
And the
leveling up.
agent is free.
Yeah, the agent is free. So if you get the tier 15, probably it'll be like, yeah, you get a new agent or whatever, and it's free, obviously. But everything that led
Yeah.
up to tier 15, you didn't get. So it's just, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I know we talked about this a
Well,
little bit in our
you do it
chat,
with Valorant.
right? But we don't.
We do it with Valorant already. So you have to sit there and grind out the tiers, or you could pay actual money to get the
Right.
champion. It's the same concept because like with Call of Duty or any battle pass, really, they give you skips.
Yeah.
Oh, pay $20 extra and we'll skip you 15 levels ahead.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting
So
to see.
that's what's going on here.
But the biggest
It's
concern that
just
I dropped in chat was what happens at the end of the battle pass or at the end of the season? Like,
yeah.
do all of the players who missed out on that battle pass miss out on those characters, or does like the battle pass continue to rotate like Halo, or
Yeah.
does it take the characters out and then like you have to buy them directly, or like
Well,
how's this going to
and
work?
and that's what I said. I said about, the fact that maybe it'll be like Halo. You just go and get those, you choose what battle pass to grind through. Sort of like Valorant, you choose what agent you want to grind towards. Well, now
Hmm.
you just grind through a battle pass towards that agent.
Well, I wonder if it's going to be like that, where once the battle pass is over, then it does it how Valorant is, where it's like, because Valorant agents you can unlock by progressing through that character's contract, but like it's not part of the battle pass at all.
Yeah.
So I
And
wonder.
and I think this is actually a really bad move by Blizzard, like a hugely bad move, because the idea behind Overwatch has always been the idea that you can switch your team on the fly, but now what if you can't play those characters, those new characters that are match defining, and now you have to play. It's
Pay to
it's sort
win.
of like when people say, "Hey mom, I want this," and they're like, mom's like, "No, we have this at home." And you look and you're just like, "Wow, that's not the same thing at all."
Right. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I just hope this isn't like one of those like pay to win kind of things. Like people
Hmm.
who just get the game versus people who have been playing for like a month aren't going to be on the same playing field at all.
Yeah, that's kind of what's going to happen here because in the middle of a match, you were always able to switch your hero in Overwatch. So
Right.
now you have 1, 2, 7, 12 heroes that you can't play, but your opponents are able to, and maybe they're game defining on certain maps. Now you just lose because you don't have the clear winning champion.
Unless they kind of do how Multiverses does it, where like it rotates like weekly of
Maybe.
locked characters, so you can play them, but they're still technically locked. They're just on like a rotation of giving you a chance to check these player characters out.
Mhm.
Maybe they do something like that.
Maybe. But let's move on here. We've got Ascend, Hand of Call. It's a free-to-play action RPG, first launched on the Xbox 360 back in 2013. A year later, it was discontinued by Microsoft, and then they removed it so that you couldn't get it anymore. It is now being re-released and renamed to Ascend Reborn, and this could be a remake of an IP, so we could see them bringing back this IP and not just as a remake.
Right. Yeah, this one kind of just had me scratching my head, even just reading up on the story because I don't even remember this game when it was first released in 2013, but it was
Well,
just
because it
like
was only available for like a day,
right. It
I
was
guess, but
yeah. It came out was on the 360, then removed, and then no one even talked about it. Here we are 9 years later, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna put that game back on the store, and everyone can play it. We're just gonna change the name." But I wonder if they're like, "Hey, we're re-releasing this game, but then we're gonna make like a sequel to this or like a whatever." But it's a free to play game, so I don't know how this is gonna work.
mhm. And it kind of was it kind of was an RPG where, enemies had levels and you would go through the different areas, and also you had players that you could see alongside you. It was kind of like a Dark Souls game
Hmm.
in the sense that you could see people's ghosts. You could, you went through and you kind of fought the stuff in front of you and you picked gear to build your character a certain way. It
Hmm.
looks really interesting, honestly. Just I watched a video on it and I was like, well, it looks fascinating. So I'm not really sure, what to think, what their plans are. Maybe this is a Dark Souls from software competitor game that they're trying to reinvigorate. Microsoft may be trying to get into the Dark Souls genre,
Could be. We'll see how that plays
Souls-like
out.
games.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they don't have on their catalog of games. Is that
Yeah,
exclusive Souls-like game? Obviously, the Souls games are on Xbox. Dark Souls and Elden Ring, they're all there
but they're
available.
not on Game Pass.
Right. It's key.
Next up, we've got Diablo Immortal. Players are facing debt. So, turns out there was a huge black market for orbs, which is the currency that you have to pay for inside of Diablo Immortal. People were getting this currency through stolen credit cards, Chinese sweatshop purchases, sort of like they did back in the day with World of Warcraft, where
Hmm.
people would steal accounts and identities and credit cards, and they would advertise and funnel that money to players who bought it online through their online marketplace. Like they would give you a website, you would go to it, they would give you your name, and they would send it to you in the mail. Well, that's kind of what happens here. In addition, they would also log into your account for Diablo Immortal, and they would just use the stolen credit cards to put it on your account. So you would pay them, a fraction of what the price was. So if you're gonna buy, $1,000 in orbs, they'd maybe say, okay, well, you pay us 700, and this person whose credit card we stole is actually gonna pay 1,000 to Blizzard. So Blizzard's now getting having to deal with these people who are like, hey, you're not getting this $1,000. So Blizzard's like, well, shit, we just got paid 1,000. They pulled it. Yeah, it spooky, 100%. Thanks for joining in the chat. Yes, this is why we can't have nice things. Is the gaming industry is really big into these whole cash shops and buying currency, and we're guilty of it. Hell, you're guilty of it. You bought the elder guns. Like I bought the championship bundle last year.
Hmm.
Like we are feeding this, but the problem is
We're not abusing it. Like,
Diablo Immortal is pay to win. So now you're paying orbs to actually get ahead and not just cosmetics. And so
hmm.
people are like, "Oh, this is my life. This is what I stream." Well, now they're doing, they're buying orbs on the black market like people did in MMOs for years,
Hmm.
and Blizzard is losing all this money now because instead of stealing the in-game currency from people and then reselling it or farming it through Chinese sweatshops, they're actually just stealing credit cards or account data and they're sending that between accounts. So now, we're dealing with the fact that Blizzard is out thousands of dollars for digital goods that have no real world value. And Blizzard's like, well, anyone who purchased orbs from one of these vendors, we're gonna remove all their money. Well, now these people are having, balances of up to million orbs. Like there are people out there who have a million orb negative balance because they paid to cheat,
Hmm.
they bought from the black market. And so Blizzard has banned them from doing like certain events, but they can still play in PvP. So now the players are like, these people are allowed to competitively compete in PvP on these accounts with the stuff that they actually bought with orbs, but they can't play the PvE content. Why they're allowed to compete on an esports level after it's like doping and still being told, yeah, Tiger, you can play in the PGA Tour even though you shot up a bunch of testosterone and steroids. You're cool, but you can't go play casually.
Right, because
You can't go play with your
then
friends
you'll
anymore.
right now you're gonna
Yeah,
wreck the casual
yeah.
players, but now you got to sweat. But the thing is, like, I feel like it's almost like a punishment. Like they can only play PVE or PvP,
Mhm.
but they can't get any better because they're so far in debt. Obviously, they needed that currency to get better, to improve their character, to buy gear or whatever it is. But they're stuck with whatever they have at that point. And if it gets to a point where that stuff is like outranked or it's
Yeah.
old and it's not the meta no more, they're going to be way behind and they're never going to be able to catch up unless they make a new account. So it's one of those like, okay, you want to play the game, you can play the game, but you're stuck. You can't do nothing,
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
can't go play with your friends. Good luck. So
Nope.
it's an interesting take on that.
I get it, but like they should have just banned the account altogether.
I agree.
Why even allow the account to exist is my thought. That's why I'm so just like flabbergasted is they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna let this, we're just gonna let this exist.
Whale versus whales.
Hmm. Oh yeah, dude, what if they made a game mode and it's just negative balance only?
It's just
Whale v whale PvP.
actually think about it. Activision clearly does this. They did it with Warzone. They let the Warzone
Mhm.
hackers still play, but they couldn't see people who weren't using hacks. So they were like running around the map clueless, have no idea. The only people they could see are other hackers. So, but all the other
The
people could
hackers are
see
killing
them.
hackers, yeah.
Yeah, but the regular people who are not hacking could see them and just annihilate them really quick and easy. So it's like I feel like Activision Blizzard is just having fun with the hackers at this point. But we'll see how it goes. What else is going on, Roger?
All right, what else we got here? What do we got here? We got High on Life. I didn't get High on Life, but the game High on Life has been delayed due to the release of God of War Ragnarok and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. We actually got the developers to come out and say what I've been saying for months is people don't want to release their games in November. They're done. They're like, we don't want to release in November. Why try to go head to head with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and God of War Ragnarok? Who in their right mind thinks that's a good idea? And so the developer came out and said, we're not going to do this because that would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, I mean it's a smart choice by
Yeah.
them, honestly, and
Like,
they
and
realize
for
how.
somebody to admit it,
Yeah,
they admitted it. That's the crazy thing. It's
yeah,
like it's what we've been saying for
yeah,
months. It's a big fall.
yeah. I mean it's insane. God of War Ragnarok and Modern Warfare 2 are going to be colossals. Like they're going to be
Yeah. And they're
huge.
like a week of each other or 2 weeks.
October 28th for Call of Duty and Ragnarok is the 9th, I think. So
Yeah.
maybe a
So
little over a
like
week.
3. Yeah.
So
So it's pretty intensive. That week in gaming, I honestly I might just be taking off.
bro, literally all of October is going to be crazy for game
Yeah, sorry.
releases, and then November, the first 2 weeks of November. So first week of October to the second week of November are going to be jam packed, full with games, and High on Life being delayed until sometime in December. Perfect timing.
Agreed. Well, so next up, we've got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So we got a new trailer this week called the Seek Your Treasure trailer. Vic, want to tell us about this trailer?
They just kind of showcase some of the Pokemon, and I wasn't too excited over it. I'm just kind of waiting for the game to come out. Honestly, I mean that's another game coming out in November.
Yeah,
It's
in
right
the
around the
fall of
corner.
this year, we are going to be bouncing, and I know for sure I'm
This
going to buy
is
this
not
game
just
because I played Sword and Shield with Jordan, and we had a wonderful time playing through that together. And honestly,
Yeah, I'm trying to
it's
bring up
just
the
over. So another game that comes out in October, even though this is a re-release, it's still, it's still pretty crazy that we're getting more games in October. Because some people have never played Uncharted, and now it's on PC.
yeah. Yeah, this is
And
perfect
if you
opportunity.
buy it on the Epic Store, I don't care, but maybe you do, you'll get a Fortnite bonus.
Woo!
Woohoo! Fortnite!
Yeah, probably not, because I try to
But
avoid using any other game store other than Steam.
I can't use anything other than Steam at the moment. Like the Epic Store, like they're really trying, and I give them a little bit there, but it's just so hard to use so many different things. But let's move on here from one game to another big one, Cyberpunk 2077. So we ended up getting a huge announcement this week. First of all, goodbye PS4 and Xbox One. So long.
Thank goodness.
Patch 1.6, we're getting a new free DLC. This is gonna have stuff based on the new anime Edge Runners. It's gonna give you wardrobes, 3 new gigs, 11 new weapons in the game, cross progression so that you can progress from one console to another, correct?
Yeah.
So you'll have cloud save files now
So
across consoles.
basically, it allows people
You
who
can
were playing on the PS4 that aren't going to be
to
able to
play on the
experience this console,
PS5.
they can just transfer over to the PS5, which makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, and honestly, the PS4 already supported that. The PS4 and 5 already supported that. So if you had the game on PS4, PS5, a lot of the times, if you had a PS5 upgrade, the game would just work. I've had that a few games already, which is nifty. But now we're seeing the ability to play that save file across systems. Then there's also a new arcade game called Roach Race, and a new addition to the photo mode called Nibbles. You want to explain what the Roach Race and Nibbles are, if you know?
Uh, they didn't really give much to it.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. From what I could tell, I didn't see anything in there. The nibbles, you now can take photos of nibbles, which is choose nibbles in the character section, which allows you to change your appearance to one of the characters, I guess, from the anime. And then we also have the Road Race, which is a brand new mini game using arcade machines located in the Night City.
Nibbles is the
Um,
cat. The cat, I guess.
Nibbles is the cat.
The
Okay.
hairless cat.
And then so Road Trace is a arcade machine that you can find in Northside Japantown in the Glen, where you can play this Road Trace. It's sort of like an Android iOS game, and you can compete on leaderboards across the world. And winners get cash and items added to their in-game save file.
So it's available both in the console game, but then there's also a mobile game for Android and iOS
Yeah.
for Road
And
Trips.
this
That's
is a game that had already existed by CD Projekt Red for Android and iOS, and it's essentially the Google browser's
the dinosaur.
dinosaur running game, just with Roach from Witcher 3.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So that's what we got there. We also heard about Phantom Liberty, which is the first story expansion. It will not be on the One or PS4. Great.
Thank
Awesome.
goodness.
What we need to know. And it will be releasing next year. So we don't have to worry about it coming out this year. Honestly, I'm excited. I might actually revisit this game once Phantom Liberty drops and see about playing the game now with this new DLC involved.
Yeah, I
And the
definitely want to go
game
back to it.
also, the game also gets mod support. We're getting mod support in Cyberpunk.
That's
So
gonna be
get
huge.
ready to be able to play Witcher characters inside of Cyberpunk 2077. Get ready for Shrek to be a playable character. Get ready for
It's gonna be wild.
Yoda to be stealthily put in around the game. Hell, play as Woody from Toy Story.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. But in regards to the Phantom Liberty, that looks really good. And
We only got a small trailer though. It was only really a
it was like
visual
a
trailer.
it was a teaser trailer, but the idea that it's a spy thriller expansion for the game has me really excited because you basically
Yeah.
you sign up to be a part of the new United States of America, and Johnny Silverhand is still being reprised by Keanu Reeves, and and he was just like, I don't think this is a good idea, and then like that's basically the end of the trailer. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it takes place during, after, or before, or what.
I think this takes place after, is what I
So
think.
that'll be awesome because now you have a story trailer or a story DLC that will take place based off your choice. They
Hopefully,
somehow tie it back in, which is cool because I liked how the beginning of the game worked because you could choose 3 different starts and you got 3 different stories to start the game, and then they all tied back together, which was cool.
right? But you could have. There was a couple of different endings. I think there was four,
Hmm.
something like that. It was something
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 endings, but hopefully they all can come back together.
right.
All right, Vic. So we got way more game news going on. So why don't you take over for a little bit here? What do we got going on in the Battlefield world?
Yeah, Battlefield, man. This is actually exciting news because I always thought Battlefield's campaigns were actually like very cinematic and very it would compete with Call of Duty's. And the new studio Ridgeline Games, which is led by Marcus Lito, which people who don't may not know that name for some reason, but he is the co-creator of the Halo universe, and he's actually responsible for designing Master Chief. So he's going to be in charge of creating the new narrative campaigns for any new Battlefield games. So
We're
that's
getting a campaign,
yeah, we're finally going to get a new
right?
campaign.
Like I was hoping 2042 would have a
That would have been
campaign, and
so dope.
we got cucked so hard by that. Like they were like, "And no campaign. $70 for a game without even a campaign."
Yeah, blows my mind.
Yeah.
But in regards to Battlefield's competitor Call of Duty, Activision also released a new trailer providing its first brief look of the new Call of Duty Warzone mobile. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go check out that trailer. And that game will be right around the corner, and it's going to be its own separate thing outside of Call of Duty Mobile. So just like how Warzone is technically separate than any of the mainstream games. So that'll be interesting. And then moving on, though, we do got some Xbox news. First up, we got Deep Rock Galactic. I know it's a game that me and you used to check out, and some of the guys here, or some of the people here in chat, but it's getting a free Xbox Series S and X upgrade on Game Pass. So that's awesome. Get to experience the game at its highest fidelity. It'll run at the 120 frames per second, and it was a good game. But one surprising announcement though that came out this week, which kind of we saw was leaking out here and there, was the announcement of the Xbox Elite 2 Core controller, which is the white version of the controller, and I'm gonna try and bring it up here on screen so everybody can check it out. Let's
What do we
see.
get? What do we get with this controller that the last one didn't have?
Well, this is just a different version, so it's white
Hmm.
versus black. But now you also have two options to buy. You can either buy the controller where it comes with all of the new thumbsticks, new D-pads, new paddles on the back, for the typical $180 price tag, I think it is. Or you can get the one without all of those, just the controller, for $129. So it makes it a little bit more affordable if you want that pro controller, but you don't necessarily need all of the extra thumbsticks and any of the D-pads and whatnot. Or you can even buy them later. So it allows you to take that step in the progression. And they also announced that it will be coming to Design Labs, so you'll also be able to customize it later on down the road. Choose your own color: red, blue, purple, green, you name it. So that's really exciting, and it has me excited because I don't have an Elite controller, and I know how good the Elite controller is. I'm just hesitant to buy it because I want to know if the Series 3 is right around the corner.
Yeah, because Microsoft has been asking, well, do you guys want
Right.
that haptic feedback, like that the feedback on the triggers? You know, do we get the Series 3 where we finally get those and they release it right after you bought the two? Because
Right.
I know that's kind of what happened with people with Oculus Rift or Oculus Quest. They were like, "Oh, here's the Oculus Quest. It's a good price." And you buy it and they're like, "Haha, but we're re-releasing the new one that's twice as powerful for cheaper."
Right. And one of my biggest concerns though is because here's the regular Xbox Series X controller, and this button right here, the share button. I use this all the time for screenshots or recording gameplay and stuff like that. The Elite
Not on
controllers
there.
don't have it. I need an Elite controller that's going to have that. It's so
Hmm.
valuable to our craft. Like I post screenshots of games all the time. I post highlights of my gameplay all the time. I need that. It is a very valuable thing. And if the Elite controller does not have it, I'm probably not going to get that controller.
Yeah, no, and I understand that completely.
But moving on here to the last thing, a little bit of information in regards to Xbox. Microsoft is testing out their new Home UI for release that's coming out in 2023. So anybody who's part of the Xbox Insider program, so people are getting selected randomly to test out the new UI. It looks pretty cool. It's very similar, just like some slight changes and stuff, but it needed a refresh. It's been a while since we had a refresh on the Xbox dashboard. Honestly, it's been very similar the entire way through, even since the launch of the Xbox One. So we'll see if they do anything drastic in regards to that. But that's
All
all the
right, so Vic, we
big
had
week,
two big events this week. Two big events.
dude.
We had the Disney D23 and the Ubisoft Forward 2022. Which one did you like more?
Dude, that's so tough because there's one game from both of them that has me super excited, and we're gonna start off here with Disney, and Disney has announced a new game coming from Amy Hennig. Skydance's new medias, and it's their first game, and we're getting Captain America and a Black Panther game set during World War II. Dude, you don't understand how exciting that is, and that came out of nowhere. I didn't even know like that was even going to be a possibility of a game, and it looks really good. Obviously, we've seen the trailer. I'm gonna see if I can get the trailer playing here for you folks. Boom. Let's get that up. But Roger, what was your thoughts on this game when you first saw? It? Obviously, all it was is more or less like a teaser trailer
Yeah.
behind it. But what was your thought on the
Honestly,
concept?
like I'm not a fan of Captain America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't really care much for Captain America. I don't like his character design. So for me, a Captain America game has no real draw for me. Like I like people who are witty and more fun, like Spider-Man, like Wolverine, like
Hmm.
Deadpool. I like some of these they're more fun characters to me than Mr. Captain America. But
Right.
for those who like Captain America and for Black Panther, this looks pretty cool. Honestly, this is Captain America's prime real estate right here is the World War II.
Right. I mean, he's 19 years old in this, so it's very early in the days of him becoming Captain America. And then Black Panther, it'll be T'Challa's grandfather at the time. And then this is like a four-player game, I think, because there's four playable heroes. Because you can play
Hmm.
as Captain America, Black Panther, a spy, and then one of the Nanali leaders from the Howling Commandos. So that'll be pretty cool, and I'm really excited for that. And the fact that it's coming from Amy Hennig, because she helped create like the Uncharted series, so that's really big.
Hmm.
But some other stuff they announced though was the release date, the new release date for Marvel Midnight Sun, which is coming out on December 2nd of this year. So again, they moved it to that perfect time frame. We know how busy October and November is really going to be, and we're going to get Midnight Suns in December. So honestly, the end of the year is starting to shape up pretty good. There's like a new release, a new solid release every week, and multiple of them
Hmm.
each week. Another one here was Tron Identity. This is going to be a new visual novel adventure from Thomas Malone's Bithell Games. Um, Not much to go on. The teaser trailer really just showed the blue ring, as you can see here on the screen. Not going to play it. And it's set to be released on PC and consoles in 2023. So we'll see how that shapes out. I know I like playing visual novels, Roger. I know you do too. What's your thoughts on this? Are you a Tron fan?
Not really. I'm not a huge Tron fan. Like I watched as a kid and it was all right. Like I watched the original Tron as a kid and I just never drew me in and then I never had an interest to watch the new Tron,
Mm-hmm. No,
so
yeah.
I never got into it.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, Another game here though that I know maybe even your wife might be excited for. I even showed my fiance, and I know she's kind of excited for, and she don't play games. Was the new co-op Mickey Mouse game called Illusion Island, and you get to play as like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy, and it's a 2D platformer. And it looks really cool. Honestly, this might be a game that I really want to check out. Whether I play it
Mhm.
with my girl, or even if we can do like a four-person stream on this, that I think this would be a silly game to check out.
Yeah, fair enough. It looks interesting. I like side scrollers and hopefully it'll be fun because I think sometimes we lose a lot of that interestingness with some of these games, especially when you deal with like Mickey Mouse, Minnie, and stuff like that, you kind of lose a lot of depth.
Yeah, for sure. The trailer has me excited, but I love the meme at the end of the trailer when it was like, because they don't know when it's going to come out, and they were like TBD, 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 and he was like, "Are you speaking and saying something that you can't say?"
DVD.
TBD. So that was fun. Next up, they did announce a new Marvel game, World of Heroes. This is coming from Niantic, which is the creator of Pokemon Go, and we obviously know how big Pokemon Go was and kind of still is. But you basically more or less get to travel in the real world and create your own hero and battle and fight other heroes and villains. I don't really know or understand how this game's
Marvel
gonna work.
Mon Go.
Yeah,
It's Marvel Mon Go.
yeah, but like Pokemon Go made sense to travel the world and like catch your monsters and shit.
Hmm.
Like I don't understand. Like, I'm going to travel to a bus stop to fight a villain. They
Yeah,
gotta
the
like I
villain
guess.
decided that people don't get to work on time, and you got to fight that villain. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah, I know.
get it together, Vic. He is against public transit, and we're for it. And you got to save public transit.
No, I believe it. But I feel like these kind of games would be perfect for like those AR glasses that we're gonna have in the
Yeah,
future. Like when AR gets to that level, that's when I'm going to be invested. But if I'm walking around playing a game like this, even though we did it for many hours playing Pokemon Go, but like to us that felt like the real Pokemon. Like that's what we wanted when Pokemon first came out. I don't
yeah.
necessarily want a Marvel game like this, but that's just me. I'm sure there's plenty of people that'll go out here and run around and be a hero themselves.
I still see people playing Pokemon Go all the time. Like you just
Yeah,
like catch it out of the corner of your eye. Somebody's like,
spinning the ball trying to catch. Yeah. We'll see how that plays out for sure. But we did see some stuff in regards to Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Got like a quick gameplay. It was like a passerby more or less, but they did showcase a little bit more of the other Pandora game or the Avatar game. Oops. Which is the mobile game, which we'll check out here in a second. But another one that this one kind of intrigued me here was Marvel Snap, which is an upcoming free-to-play collectible card game. So it's like Pokemon, Magic, but a lot more simpler per se. And what?
well, like Disney's also getting a card game here soon. I think Disney is trying to break into card games lately. Because the mainline Disney series is getting like heroes and villains and a bunch of other stuff. Actual like trading, fighting, magic style card game.
Okay, yeah, that'll be
Hmm.
interesting. I wonder if they're going to find a way to be able to tie all of them in some way. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that definitely check that out. That was a lot of fun, and actually, it's being released next month. Got about a month away, October 18th, with over 150 Marvel heroes and villains, and the gameplay looked interesting. It looked very simple and stuff like that. And I think they're shooting for like very quick games too. Like they said that it'll be some of the fastest card game matches that are around. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, Return to Monkey Island. I actually didn't know Disney owned this IP, to be honest with you, but it just got another trailer because the game releases on the 19th, so next week, and on Talk Like a Pirate Day. Aliens Dark Descent, that was that top down shooter, I guess, that we saw that the trailer looked gorgeous. We were like, oh man, we're going to get this badass alien game just to come to find out it's a top down, like the Ascent. We're like, fuck, that's not what we wanted.
Yeah, it looked so good. Like the trailer is like gotten them going down corridors and looking behind their shoulder, and we're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, well, this is a cool little view here.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. But we are getting a first person alien game as well. But that's long ways off. This one here surprised me though. Gargoyles Remastered. This is a 90s platformer game being remade for modern consoles and PC. Obviously, if you read here, it came out in the Sega Genesis in '95. Fuck, we were 2 years old, dude, when this came out.
Hmm.
And I don't
It
think
was a
I've ever
good
played it.
game.
I don't remember playing it.
I played it. I did. I loved it. Uh, it was a pretty cool game. It was on the similar difficulty to like the Lion King
Oh, really?
game.
I
Yeah,
actually
that shit was.
I have it on the Xbox. I bought it when it came to Xbox, and I'm like, this shit is still hard. Like I don't
Shit,
understand
it
why
is
why it's so hard.
unreal. It
Like
is unreal.
I don't get it. It was hard then when I was 5, and now it's hard now, and I'm 28. Like I just don't get
Well,
it.
they made some of the platforms in such a way that it was like, get fucked, nerd.
Yeah. But next up, obviously we talked about Disney Dreamlight Valley earlier, and they're already getting in a more or less an expansion. Toy Story Realm is coming later this year, and later this year, I mean that's there's only 3 months left.
I gotta
More or
calm
less,
down.
I know.
I gotta calm down the furious typer in the background here. As soon as you started staying, I just hear boom, boom, boom on the keyboard, and I'm like, all right, calm down.
But
She
this
like cried the day the game came out. She bought it, she cried, and it was like, all right, cool, cool. I'm glad you're happy. But the fact that they're going to keep covering this game and keep building it feels awesome to me.
they
You
have
know, where
so
will
much
it
to pull
stop
from.
though, too?
They have so much to pull from, and
Hmm.
realistically, they could make this like how Kingdom Hearts is. Like obviously they go into the Disney stuff, but then they can got tie in with the Star Wars stuff if they want. They can go into Marvel if they really want to. Like they own so much IP that they can just throw this stuff into it and just have an
And
endless supply of content.
and like, hold up, Spooky Crew, Nightmare Gore and Spooky Crew. It's actually really cool if you have Game Pass and you like Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon style games, like the Marshmallow King and I were talking in Discord about it, and it's actually like it's pretty all right for a for a game like that. And like it may not be your speed, but if you even remotely like a game like that, give it a look. It's pretty cool. Honestly, it has monthly events that you can pay real money for, or you don't have to, and you can do these events free.
Yeah.
And it actually felt pretty legit for a game. Like you go around and you just visit different Disney worlds and you bring in the stuff, and I'm excited to see the Toy Story world. I was surprised it didn't have it because I'm still going through
Do I go in debt to Mickey Mouse? I don't know if this game is gonna be
it.
pay to win.
Nah.
I mean, but isn't this crazy though that we're seeing the Toy Story realm here in Disney Dreamlight Valley, but we just saw the Toy Story realm in Halo Infinite
Hmm.
Infinite Forge. Like, look at that,
Yeah.
look at that tie in there. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see this kind of game, and this game could have endless amounts of content.
Yeah. No, it looks pretty cool. Honestly, I'm excited to see it. And we could get, we could get some really cool stuff, especially with the Pixar universe, because they
Right,
really haven't tied as much into it as you think.
right.
And so, what do we have next after Dreamlight Valley?
Here's the other Avatar game that I was drawing a blank on. It was Avatar Reckoning. This is the mobile MMORPG, but this game looks interesting, but you can tell it's a mobile game. But I'm really hoping it's not one of those like pay to win, pay to play kind of games. The world looks beautiful. You kind of like create your own avatar, and you can customize them with like different tattoos or painting, as you can see here on the screen, outfits, and just make them your own. And then like the gun looks like I'm making a Call of Duty gun in Gunsmith right now. Like I just don't
Hmm.
understand it. But the world looks cool. They have different modes. It looks like there's gonna be like TDM in it. It looks. I'm a huge Avatar fan to begin with, but as you can see here, it's a third-person game. But I don't know
You
how
get
I feel because
distracted there watching the video.
yeah. So it's gonna be a mobile game, and I don't really play that many mobile. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
that's what's got me. I'm like, why does everything have to be on the fucking phone now?
Right. Nobody wants to do that. Well, I can't say nobody. Me and you don't want to. But
Yeah, but there's a world for mobile marketing right now.
yes, it's a big market. I get it. It's one of the biggest in the world. It is the biggest portion of gaming. So we got to understand it. Next up was Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. It's getting a new Galactic Edition and new characters. So on November 1st, it'll bring 13 new characters, such as like Andor, which the new show is coming out in 10 days. So I'm really, really excited for that. Reva, who is from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and Captain Rex is from obviously the Clone Wars, and much more. So be on the lookout for any of that. It's actually a Lego game I want to play. I heard it's really a really good game. It's really polished, and it's just a lot of fun. And just me being a Star Wars nerd, I want to play it. Next up, Disney Speedstorm. This is a
Careful there, bud. They're getting ahead of you in chat here.
I know,
You're revealing the stuff, and they're like, "Hey, I want to talk about this."
I know, right? Disney Speedstorm. This is like basically Mario Kart clone, but with Disney. And this is a game that was already announced, but there's just gonna be new racers coming from the Monsters Inc. world, and it actually looks fun, low key. I'm not even gonna lie. This looks a lot better than the Nickelodeon Mario Kart clone. This looks way better than the Chocobo GP, the Final Fantasy Mario Kart
Yeah.
clone. Like this actually looks polished, and Disney again just has so much to pull from. And obviously, you see here, Disney Princess is super excited for this.
Of all people, I wonder who would be
Yeah.
excited for a Disney racing game.
Hey, Furts, I definitely agree. Andor looks phenomenal, and I'm really, really excited for the 3 episode premiere that comes out on the 21st. Next up, this one here, I didn't quite understand what kind of game this necessarily was. It says it's an action RPG, but we didn't really see any gameplay. It was just like a trailer, like a cinematic trailer. It's a Disney's Mirror Versus, and there's a new Halloween season that will come with it as well. This is just another mobile game. Not sure if
This
Roger.
is a game I believe we already have something out now, and
Hmm.
it's essentially just one of those Final Fantasy clones on phone where you build a team of like 3 to 5 heroes or whatever, and you fight an unknown force. They had this with Kingdom Hearts had a
Mm.
mobile game back in like 2014 or something. Before they released Kingdom Hearts 3, they had a Kingdom Hearts like the Key Wars, which was like a prequel to the whole story, and it
Yeah.
was a mobile game where you'd build a team and you would fight against big bads.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. More than likely, won't be something I check out. Marvel Strike Force, which is again another mobile game, a squad-based mobile RPG, but they're adding Red Hawk on the September 13th, so here in a couple of days. So if you're a big fan of this game, you're getting a new hero that you can get. But that is everything in regards to Disney. Roger, do any of this stuff excite you on a different level, or what was the
On a
biggest thing on?
different level.
Yeah,
I'm just built different.
yeah, built.
But no, I'm excited to maybe check out Gargoyles Remastered. I'm gonna keep playing Disney Dreamlight Valley just to see, where it goes. Like the game is quite interesting so far. So I'm excited to see them add some of my favorite Disney characters, which like Buzz Lightyear is one of my favorite
Mhm,
Disney characters, but to also add Woody, that's pretty cool to me. I honestly I want to see this game continue
mhm.
because it helped reinvigorate the series. I think it adds a lot of cool features. I believe Buzz is already in the game and Woody is being added then.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the plan in regards to that. Wouldn't it be awesome though to be able to maybe explore Pride's Rock from The Lion King? I think that'd be dope.
Well, I think it's already in the game.
Oh, is it? See, I don't know.
Yeah, because I know Scar is in the game.
Right, right.
But why don't we talk about the Ubisoft Forward? So this is something I'm a little less excited about, honestly. Like I'd weirdly enough be more excited about Disney, I guess, but the Ubisoft Forward this year, what did we see? Like this happened yesterday? Yesterday, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. The
Yeah, it was yesterday afternoon.
Yep. Uh,
So with Assassin's Creed, what did we get?
Man, what didn't we get? Shit. I mean, they announced so much
That
content,
was
dude.
half their thing was Assassin's Creed.
Right, which has me pumped. I mean, obviously, I'm riding this wave of Assassin's Creed. The last three games to me have been a ton of fun, and revisiting the first one was fun too. But basically, they announced Assassin's Creed Infinity officially, and this isn't going to be a game, more or less. It's going to be more of like a platform or a hub where they add new experiences and timelines and stories throughout. And they more or less they revealed the first two, and the first one is going to be set in feudal Japan, and you get basically follow the story or the life of Shinobi. And
But remember, this is a mobile only game.
which one?
The one based in Japan, I believe, is their mobile game they're making.
I forget which one it is that's supposed to be mobile only.
Shinobi is going to be a mobile only
No, this
Assassin's Creed game,
no,
I
it's
thought.
this, it's Jade. It's the one that we're gonna get to here. These
Yeah.
first two are not. The first three or four games we're about to talk about are consoles.
Hmm.
So the first one with the feudal Japan, so that's exciting. Everyone's been calling for an Assassin's Creed game set in the Japan era. It makes sense. Why not, right? And it's being helmed by Watch Dogs Legion's director Clint Hocking, which doesn't really hype me up in regards to that, but just an Assassin's Creed game set in this timeline makes perfect sense. The other one that they announced or alluded to was Assassin's Creed codename Hex, and this is more or less along the lines of like the holy time where like with the witch trials were going on, and so that'll be a really cool one to check out. That's a different take on Assassin's Creed. This one could be kind of dark. I think this could be along the lines of even like Hellblade kind of dark. So we'll see how that plays out. They did announce that there's going to be some new Assassin's Creed multiplayer returning in some sort of form. We don't have much details. Obviously, you can see here it's coming at a later date, but that's cool to see Assassin's Creed multiplayer coming back.
Yeah, we know where we're going with the stuff.
Hmm.
But the one we're really got the most information on.
Yeah, was Assassin's Creed Mirage. Obviously, we seen the leaks last week. We talked about it last week. It's set in Baghdad. It's set 20 years before Valhalla, and you play as Basim before he joins like the Hidden Ones, and it's going to be like that return to the classic roots of they focus on stealth and parkour and assassinations, and it's like a linear story. It's not going to be like that huge open world that
It
Valhalla and
returns to the
Odyssey.
format.
Yeah,
That's what they said.
yeah.
The whole thing was they're like, hey, we realized Valhalla was fun. they had to use the word fun because they're marketing their own games, but
Right.
they're like, we understand Valhalla was different and stuff, but we need to get back to what made Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about this game is the price point.
$50.
Yeah, a $50 game instead of 60. So that scares me though, because is the game going to be better? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be worse because it's cheap?
Right. Well, the idea that they're making it cheap because they understand it's not that full scale, full fledged Assassin's Creed game that they have been releasing for
But
$60 or
it's
$70.
but it's like the core Assassin's Creed that people want.
Right. But this game is only going to take you 15, 20 hours to beat, where Valhalla or Odyssey Origins took you 60 to 90 hours to beat. So that was the difference between the price tag there. So I'm really excited for this one, just because like I know the importance of Bossum in Valhalla and how that story played out. I'm not going to spoil that here on the podcast, but definitely go check out Valhalla. That is a fun game, and there's tons of content, and they're not done with that either, which we're going to cover here in a second.
The last content just got announced
Right,
though.
right. But Assassin's Creed Codename Jade is the open world mobile game that's supposed to be coming out. We don't really see much. They seen just a teaser trailer more or less, and it also features some more classic gameplay, and we'll see how that plays out. I think this is the one that's set in China in the year
Yes,
of
that's right.
215 BCE, and they we did see like the Great Wall of China and the classic Chinese architecture, and that's gonna be dope. I'm not even gonna lie. You imagine just being an assassin running along the Great Wall of China. Sign me up. But it's a mobile game, so am I gonna play it?
Sign me up.
Maybe.
Unsign me up.
Yeah, sign me up, but unsign me up.
Can you cross my name off that real quick right there?
But in regards to Valhalla, yes, they did announce the last DLC called The Last Chapter. It's supposed to tie in all the loose ends of Ivor's story, that has been kind of just evolving over the last year, and they have a whole another year of content planned, and that's just super exciting to see an Assassin's Creed get 2 years worth of content after the game, and whether it's events or new cosmetics or new places to explore, some new missions to take on and whatnot, and just a fun game. I just never went back to play any of the extra DLC. It's just I
Why?
typically don't play
Yeah, a lot
DLC.
of times, you play these games and you want to be able to set them down.
Right. I just don't really go back to play DLC in pretty much any game, and I don't know why. It's just like I think it's the fact that I have to relearn the mechanics over again, because like you play through a game when it first comes out. I played this back in 2020, I think it was. To me to go back and relearn how to play Assassin's Creed, it's going to feel weird.
Hmm.
I'd rather just learn a whole new one, and that's why Mirage either coming out this year or early next year is going to be perfect. Everyone's favorite game, right? Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
No,
Um,
actually, this is legit.
No, it looks pretty good. I actually own the first one. I played a little bit of it and put it back down. I just couldn't really get into it, but this looks really good.
You're not a strategy game guy, though.
Right. But this was pretty cool because obviously we know tons about this game and we've seen some more gameplay in regards to this. But they did announce the Rayman DLC that's coming out later on. So just another crossover. I mean, you got
It's
Mario
cool that we
Rabbit.
finally. Well, that's the thing. Raymond rabbits come from Raymond. That's where they got their origin, is from his game.
There you go.
So
That
for
works.
rabbits to now include the core character from their game, Raymond, is cool. It's cool. Maybe we'll see a reboot of the Raymond series, because this used to be one of those big cool series back in the day,
Yeah.
side scroller and 3D. So hopefully we'll see something.
Yeah. In regards to Skull and Bones, we got to see just some more customization in regards to the ships and whatnot, so you can adjust the sails, the cannons, the painting, the I don't know the descriptions of the boat, but the front of the boat and the back of the boat. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to play Skull and Bones. I just think this is going to be a game that just goes.
Skulls and Bones is gonna be it's a simulation game and not a pirate game like Sea of Thieves,
Yeah.
because you're gonna be controlling the boat, not on the boat driving it. You're gonna
Right.
just be
The boat.
controlling it above.
Right. So I don't know
It's
how I
gonna
feel
be
about that.
kind of like World of Warships in a sense, probably.
Yeah, that's what I see. That's what I see it as, because this game is coming out right on the corner, November 8th. So be on the lookout for that game. Trackmania. This is a classic game that's been out for a while, but it's finally coming to consoles and is bringing cross-platform play along with cross progression. So anybody can play with anybody at any given moment, wherever you want, however you want. Just Dance 2023 was announced for the holiday release. It's the yearly release of Just Dance. I have the most recent one of 2022. My girl loves to play it. Have some friends over, they like to play it too. So it's always one of those fun games, honestly. I just don't play it because I can't dance.
A white man can't dance.
Unfortunately, did not get any rhythm in my jeans. But
All right.
another thing they showcased was the Rainbow Six mobile gameplay. Obviously, they already announced this game, but we got to see some gameplay from it. It's a free to play take on Rainbow Six Siege coming to mobile. But you can sign up right now if you're a Google Play user to participate in this closed beta, which starts tomorrow. So if you're a Google Play user, go sign up, go check it out. Let me know how it is. And the division was had a pretty nice presence here. Obviously, the division 1 and 2, they're fun games. I just wish I had people to play with them more to invest that time into. But we got some more details in regards to the division Heartland, and it's basically it's moving towards its testing phase. So we're starting to see some more content. But it's going to be a free to play game that's going to be on consoles, cloud, and PC, and it's hopefully going to release maybe at the end of the year, maybe early 2023. So see how it goes. And we don't really know much in regards to it. They just wanted to kind of, hey, we're moving along, be on the lookout for it. But their current game, Division 2, is getting Season 10, Price of Power. They're going to be adding a new manhunt where you can track down the General Peter Anderson, a true Suns leader trying to ally with the Black Tusk, which is one of the enemies from the Division. And this releases this week, actually, on the 13th. So if you're still playing Division 2 or want to go back to it, perfect time, new content drop. And last but not least, in regards to the division, their mobile game called Resurgence, it's accepting signups now as well to participate in testing phases. And right now, they're going to be focusing on PvP modes like the Dark Zone or Conflict, which is like TDM or Domination for those. So definitely go check it out. And Riders Republic, I forgot about this game, Loki. This is like that extreme sports. You're paragliding, you're snowboarding, you're skateboarding, you're four wheeling, you're BMXing, you're doing everything. But they're on the 14th. You're going to be getting some crossovers with BMX and Vans, so you'll get some cosmetics and some new bikes. The Crew 2. I can't believe they're still supporting this game. This game's been out for a while. Crew 2 Season 6 Episode 2 is getting some new Frozen tracks on the 14th, and a bunch of cars coming as well. So if you're still playing the Crew 2, go play that. But I highly recommend checking out Forza Horizon 5 instead. And
Damn, low key just shit on him, bro.
sorry, I had to. They did showcase their TV show there as well. Mythic Quest is getting obviously season 3 is in the works. I don't know much about this TV show, but you got the sneak peek of the upcoming season.
All
So
I know is it's got Abed from Community on it, so you know if you like him as a character, maybe like you might like their TV show.
right, and Brawlhalla is getting a crossover with Castlevania, and that is going to be coming out on October 19th. So if you're still playing that game or want to go back to Brawlhalla, go check it out with the new Castlevania. This one actually kind of surprises me here with these last 2 points here is Netflix and Ubisoft are partnering up to make a live action Assassin's Creed TV show.
This does not surprise me whatsoever because Ubisoft, like other companies, wants to break into the movie making industry, wants to make it, wants to extend their content past video games into
Right.
something new, into new media, and Netflix is dying.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
who better than
Ubisoft.
Netflix if you want it cheap?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Maybe this is Netflix's big reason to have their platform and their gaming part of their platform because most of their games are small scale, not really big in name wise, and maybe because they're not only are they making a TV show, but they also have 3 mobile games that are being based on Assassin's Creed, Valiant Hearts, and Mighty Quest coming. So maybe it might give you a reason to check it out. Maybe this is where that Assassin's Creed mobile game that we talked about earlier, codenamed Jade, is going to Netflix. But some awesome news that we don't really see from Ubisoft. But if you're a PC, Google Stadia, or Amazon Luna player, you do get Ubisoft Plus for free until October 10th, and that's going to allow you to play over 100 of Ubisoft titles, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I like to give high praise to. It's definitely a fun game. But yeah, man, those are 2 big events that we just had at during the past week in regards to gaming. But Roger, do any of these from Ubisoft have you excited or looking forward to?
Honestly, I probably might jump back into Assassin's Creed just for my wife because I think she might like the games. They're story driven. They're kind of like Uncharted in the sense that you get to explore and it's sort of that mystique about it. It's not like grave robbers like Nathan Drake and Laura Croft are, but they're
Yeah.
fun.
No, yeah. Have you played Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla?
Nope, I stopped with Black Flag, I think
Oh
was the
man,
last one.
damn.
hmm
And Black Flag to me was garbage. I hated Black Flag.
Black Flag was good.
But after that, like Unity was okay. Like I didn't really like Unity, but it's because I got into Assassin's Creed heavy with Syndicate, which came after Unity, and then I tried to go
Yeah, and I
backwards.
didn't play Syndicate. That was one of the ones that
Syndicate
I
was a lot of fun. That's set when you play as Evie and Jacob Fry, brother and sister, and you can alternate between who you're playing. And it's set in London, and it's a really fun game. And then after that was what was after Syndicate? Origins, and then Odyssey, and then Valhalla, which is a lot of fun. So definitely check those out. But that's all of our gaming news this week. Roger, what's going on in the rumors and leaks world?
So we only got one rumor slash leak that seems pretty credible.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get a Silent Hill 2 remake being made by Bloober Team.
Yep.
Because we saw some leaked images hit, some promotional images. So maybe those of you who would like to see a Silent Hill game again, maybe we might be seeing the series come back after this remake that potentially is in development.
Right, and obviously Bloober Team is a really renowned developer. Like their most recent one was the Medium. That really took that next generation hardware to the limits because it was basically rendering two games at one time and it allows you to have fun with that. But we do know they have a new Layers of Fear game in the works, and they also have Blair Witch Trial or Blair Witch game that people can still check out. So they're definitely they have their credibility is there in regards to horror games.
Mhm.
But that looks like that's it for all of our gaming news, rumors, leaks, everything, man. So any last comments or remarks before we close out this week's episode?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys, and those of you who showed up earlier for my stream for the Sunday request. It was nice to have you guys today, and hopefully for those of you who check us out afterwards, hopefully you continue to check us out and maybe come visit live so that we can hear your feedback and comments.
Right. And of course, make sure you check us out tomorrow for our ranked Valorant session, 6 to 9, right here on my stream, along with Roger's stream, which is where?
You can find me down there at twitch.tv/lunatic_oblivion. And if you're looking for me on Twitter, I'm lunatic oblivion without the underscore.
And of course, you can check me out at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin underscore. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. If you want a game party, hit me up there. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. Question, concerns, you want to come on the show, hit me up on there. And of course, I stream on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ Mr. Never Chillin. I am currently playing through the Artful Escape, so I'll probably be getting another playthrough and probably beating that game. I think I might play it on Tuesday, is when I'm going to play it next. So be on the lookout for that stream. But we want to thank everyone again. But until next time, peace.